Hi, everybody. I'm Chrissy, co-owner of the McKean Pets channel. I know we haven't uploaded in a while, me or Katie, and we have this channel just for keepsake, for all the little photos, videos, and fun content we have with our pets. That's why they're called the McKean Pets. But me and Katie take photos and film videos all the time, and it's just so much stuff that it could never be every single day and like edited properly if I wanted to do everything. It's just there's so much stuff, so it's never consistently in timeline. So I just wanted to clarify, but this video of me cleaning, or what you're going to see, was filmed just yesterday. Today is the 3rd, April 3rd. And I say this because the date's important. I went on a week to go dog sit one of my dad's friends. I left for 6 days. Before that, we had to get Oreo into the vet for like completely different story. He needed to go to the vet. We had to get medicine and all that fun stuff. So the day I left, I took Oreo to the vet, dropped him off. That day, Katie brought him back. And then I thought, great, Katie's taking care of everything. Oreo's gonna be fine, and Oreo was fine. I got back after the 6 days. I slept not in my room where my guinea pigs are. I slept downstairs. And the day after, I came back up and I saw that Willy, or what we call him, Wee Wee, had passed away that night. So the footage that you see right now is me cleaning the cage and the fleece and the bedding that he had passed on. I woke up that morning and I had to go to Sam's Club with my mother to go grocery shopping for an event at our church that we were going to cater for. It was so early, the guinea pigs were still asleep, so I figured I wouldn't need to check on them. And I turned around. I was about to walk downstairs because I had gotten ready, and I was like, let me head downstairs and we can go. But I turned around and I just decided to check on them. And I opened the door and he was laying on his side, not moving, not breathing. And the first thing I did was I started to cry. And my breathing got faster. I kind of fell to the ground. I didn't kneel, I kind of like squatted down, like gripping the side of my door frame. I have a gate that sits in front of my door, so no cats push the door open. So I couldn't just walk into my room, I'd have to step over the gate, so that kind of stopped me from going in the first second I saw it. Of course, I was crying, And then I didn't yell for Katie, because Katie was still asleep. Katie's my sister. She co-owns this channel. I yelled for my mom. And it was dramatic. Of course it was. But it's, a dramatic story. And I yelled at her, and I had told her Willy was dead. And we were all kind of shocked, okay? The other guinea pig, Willy, we have Willy and Wooly, they're brothers. They look very similar. I always thought Wooly would pass before Willy, just because Wooly is like a little more skinny. So we just, we always thought Wooly would pass first. And Wooly's had a history of, he's had a history of just, being a little more under the weather to things, I suppose. I don't know. And, yeah. Though, I can sit here and say all the little small things because, I feel like you could be like, oh my gosh, that guinea pig is breathing, and it would relate to some sort of, illness. Anything under the sun a guinea pig can do, you can justify some sort of reason to take them to the vet, I feel like. Just because there's so many small things that can go unnoticed for guinea pigs. And I don't want to sit here and record a voiceover and being like, it could be it, this could be it, or this could be it, because if I listen to this in the future, I don't want to bring upon that, self-punishment. I don't want to have to rehash what I could have done or what could have happened over and over, so I'm not gonna say what it could have been, because it could have just rightfully been he was old, and he was. So I'm not gonna beat myself up for it. It wouldn't solve anything. And, it's a lot. He passed the 31st. I think it was the 31st. I had just gotten back from dog sitting. I was looking forward to having a break for things. And then I found my guinea pig dead. Shockingly, I shocked myself. I picked him up. I have never been brave enough to touch any of the guinea pigs that have passed away in our home. I just don't like it. It bothers me. I'm sure many people understand why. But he was laying there on his side. And I knew, God, this so hard. I knew that if I didn't pick him up, I would never be able to hold him again. So I gathered the courage that I could. I got a fleece and I quite literally bundled him like you would a newborn baby. And I put him on it and I carried him around the house in my arms, in the fleece. And my mom went and got Katie. Katie came down. We got out the basket that we use because we have a little basket that we stick some fabric in and some like little leaves, some fake decoration leaves. We just have fall decor for it. I don't know why, it's just what we have. And attached to the basket has an ornament. And whenever a guinea pig passes, we will pick up their bodies and we will put them in the basket and then take kind of like their final resting photos. It sounds a little more gruesome than what it really is. It usually happens exactly right when they pass or within, the hour. So it's not like it's a body that's been sitting there for a while. This is kind of the first time, not the first time, but because I had guinea pigs when I was little, but it's been a while, since I've had to lose a guinea pig, like quite a few years. So it's the first time in a while that I've had to just walk in and see him gone already. Like, no warning, just he was gone. Usually there's signs, or maybe the guinea pig had fallen ill and you kind of knew what was gonna happen, but I just walked in and there he was. We did take pictures. I'm not gonna put him in this video because I want to put them in their own special video, but I did want to talk about Willy passing because this is the first video I'm getting out this year, but also the first video where you see the boys just without him and Willy by himself. So I didn't want to upload it without that clarification, but I just didn't feel like I had the heart to edit a video about it, so I'm not going to until I feel that I should. We were gathering all the little basket and material things, and I was just walking around with Willy in my arms, and my mom's like, well, I can hold him. I'm like, no. I'm like, no one is taking this guinea pig from my arms until we have to. So we got him his pictures, and then I cut some of his fur off to put in a little jar on a necklace if I want to. I don't care if you think that's weird. Find somewhere else to think it's weird. Don't care. And then I actually went to Sam's Club with my mom. Literally found out my guinea pig was dead. And then I still had to go to Sam's Club with my mother because people don't really care as much as they say they do. And that's all I have to say about that. But I went. It was really hard. All I wanted to do was just go home. And this week, actually it's not, it hasn't even been a full week. It's been really difficult, and this is probably the first time in the days that he's passed that I'm kind of thinking it through. If you live with parents or a parent that is overbearing or makes it feel like they can't live without you, then you understand me in my life. Because I feel forced to do things for people because they tell me they can't physically do it with or without me, that I have to do a lot of things for them. And this week I couldn't really handle doing my own things on top of what everyone else wanted me to do. So it was a lot of frustration and anger, and I just wanted my guinea pig back. And it sucks. It sucks to not feel supported in the way that you feel you need it. But that's okay, because I'm getting through it. That night, we buried Willy. My dad got a shovel for me. He dug the hole. I mean, he's a guinea pig. You don't need, that big of a hole. And he dug it, and what I'm about to say is, I know he meant it in, he meant it as like a playful thing. I guess it's because the way I'm communicating to you guys isn't necessarily the way I communicate with my family or with my parents or my mom or my dad. I definitely I communicate with Katie this way, but I guess I wasn't showing how upset I was about his passing. And in all honesty, it's not like I had figured it out within the 24 hours how exactly I felt other than sad, or how I was coping with anything. My dad dug a grave. Willy was in a little Amazon box because I just needed a place to put him. And we were outside. I went to tell my dad, hey, I'm gonna take Wasabi, our dog, inside so he doesn't just pick up, my dead guinea pig, because that would really seal the deal of traumatic things. And as I'm walking to the door, I hear a thud, and then Katie laughing, and apparently he had opened the box and just unceremoniously dropped my guinea pig into a hole. which, in the moment, I was laughing and stuff, and I was like, did you just really do that? And laughing, and looking back at it now, that really bothered me. Because I guess, because I told Katie it bothered me, and then she was like, well, you said you didn't want to touch the, your guinea pig's, Willy's body after that. And I was like, yeah, but that doesn't mean I don't want to, like, make sure he's, like, in the ground. Like, that would have been, a little bit of, like, a healing visual just to say, like, goodbye. But I didn't get that. So it's not. I don't want to tell him about it because it's really not that big of a deal. Okay. It is a big deal, but I just don't want him to feel bad about it. But I feel like it's worth talking about. I don't know, for future me to just, communicate, I guess, be honest. Or just know your dad's gonna chuck a dead guinea pig into the ground. But he's buried in our backyard, so one day I'm gonna stick something out there for him. And I did, after we went to Sam's Club, I did come back, and I was thinking, because I always wanted to make little ornaments with the guinea pig's paw prints. So I knew I had some air-dried clay, and because he was, already passed, I grabbed a piece of clay, I put it against his paw, and I, now have a little clay mold of his paw. So that's fun. I'm gonna paint it and, then varnish it, and I'll put a ribbon on it, and that'll be something I have. And I think the next day, I was just really sad. I've never been like, to me it's so stupid to say the word grieve, because I'm like, it's a guinea pig, but it's not about what little body it was in. It was about, what he justified, and he was just like a little walking angel. Just one that kept me company. And, man, the fact that I just knew I'd never open my door and see him again. Just heartbreaking. And I'd never been so just sad that I was still forced to do things. I had to. And I had never been able to not, process words when I was, internally grieving him. I just, even, we had to go, cook and set up for that church event I was talking about, and I got there, and I'm like, I can't do it. I'm like, I can jump in, find what needs done, do it, and I did that, but it was so hard. I was even trying to like just talk and I couldn't. It was just like my brain, it was like until I processed what happened, I couldn't process anything else, and I don't know, I feel dumb. So I guess I should say a few nice things about Willy, though. We call him Wee Wee. I don't know if I ever told you guys the story, but we went and got them, brought them home, Willy and Wooly, and I remember setting up the cage, and you know, it's a long story, I'm not gonna get into it right now, but one day Katie walked in and she goes, "Show me your wee-wees and your woolies." And the first time she said, she walked in and she goes, "Show me your wee-wee." And I was like, "You're not calling my guinea pig that." And then ever since, we sure did call him that. So she'd walk in and go, "Show me your wee-wees and your woolies." But now I just have my woolies. So, but, you know, it's good, the small things I'm gonna miss. He waddled like the cutest on on film or on streams, and when you scratched his nose, he would stay still for like it would be like a reset. Like, he'd stay still and then get on his back legs and do like a shake. We called that the shimmy. I'm never gonna get to see another shimmy again. That's so sad. I think he was, I'm gonna try not to cry saying this. I think he meant a lot to me, because when I got the boys, Willy and Wooly, I didn't know if it was the right choice, or if I really wanted them. And it's crazy what I wouldn't do to have him again. Can't believe there was a day where I didn't think I needed them. Okay. This video's gonna be long. When I first got Willy and Wooly, I remember them being so scared. Because I don't think they came from very great owners, but they were so, you know, they were either 1 or 2, I don't know. But they were so scared. Wooly was so scared for so long, but, you know, it really didn't take long for Wee Wee to, you know, be my guinea pig. And it was so sweet. And I remember you know, being so scared. I remember texting people being like, "These guinea pigs just don't like me. I don't know how to, you know, get them to not be so scared." There was nothing better than that first days where they started to really be receptive to the care I was giving them. And guys, I can't tell you how much I just care and how much I loved him. I remember after my dog, Princess, had died, I was like, man, I am not gonna find another animal to be so attached to or be so moved by their passing. God finds ways. And it was just so sudden that he died. That's just what I don't understand. And, you know, I won't ever understand. But now I have my other 3 boys that I love. And the funny part is while I was dog sitting, that first day I took Oreo to the vet, I remember getting there and finally just being by myself for the first time in months. I live with my parents and Katie, and I can't tell you how I'm never ever alone. And I remember finally being alone and realizing that when I'm at home, I'm always on edge. And then having Oreo go to the vet, and then finally being by myself for once, I remember just crying because it was the first time that one of my guinea pigs had to go, you know, into the vet for something like serious. They had to sedate him and, you know, help him get better. And I remember just crying. And I knew nothing bad was gonna happen to Oreo. I knew that. But it was just the stress of it. And then I come home, you know, a week later, and Willy dies. It's like, I thought we were all chill. I was like, come on. It's just crazy. Okay. I think that's all I have to say. I'll end the cage cleaning time lapse here. I hope you like the layout. The layout is kind of on purpose. The red and blue fleeces are ones we've had for a little bit, and I thought it would be kind of cute to put the American flag as like a little send off to Willy, like a little salute, like soldier did his work and now he's free up in heaven. So I just thought that'd be funny because I always liked putting that fleece with Willy and Willy because they just look so handsome on it. And the big blue and red stripes, once again, I never used, and they look so good with Willy. So yeah, I ended up making, cutting Willy's section in half. If you don't know, well, you can see it, and like you saw it at the beginning. I usually have it completely full, so he could see Sprite and Oreo. Well, he can see Sprite and Oreo, but it's not connected to Sprites. He's an old guinea pig. He's not zooming around and all that space. So I figured I'd make it smaller and give myself the space to draw in my room again with the tiny little floor space. So, we're gonna see. And when I tell you I cried shortening that cage, because I just put into place that he's gone, and I have 3 boys, and then the next day I cut a bell pepper to bring veggies up to them, and then I cut it into 4 pieces, and then I cried again. So, yeah. Oh, and at that church event that I was talking about where I couldn't speak or do anything, my dad had thanked me. He was like,
You know, thank you, girls, for coming over in your moment of mourning your dead guinea pig. And I don't think he meant it as cruel. I know he didn't. But I was just standing there, just silent, because it was one of the first times that one of the moments that I kind of like heard my brain being like, hey, you're really sad right now. And I remember being in my head being like, I either look at this man in his face and he sees I'm crying, or I walk away silently. I chose to walk away silently, and I remember him just being like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you, and I just walked away. So, that's a memory for future Chrissy. I guess take that as a sign of, if you need your space, just sometimes when people aren't giving it to you, you just need to take it. So yeah. Willy's gone, but he'll be missed, and he will always be loved, you know. Willy will continue to take naps because he is an old man. I am hoping Willy doesn't show any signs of being depressed without him, but he's actually been doing quite well. In fact, he just kind of wants to take naps and, eat food, which I kind of expected from him, to be quite honest with you. I mean, Willy was kind of sat in the cage for an hour, I say, after his death. So, I mean, it's not like Willy didn't see him there, okay? I don't know how smart guinea pigs are, but yeah, I will end the cage cleaning time lapse here. So there's the final cage, and I will let you guys see all the little... I'm being called. That was Katie. Here are all the little pictures I took of the boys after the cleaning the cage. And I have some footage that I took of them. I will let you guys sit through it and watch. I know this video is already so long, but if you could stick around for the last bit of it to help the watch time, because I to be quite honest with you, I love some extra money to just, go into helping the boys, and monetization would be nice. So, that's all I have for this video. Yeah. Rest in peace to the big man. I'm gonna miss him. He hated it. Early babe.